after the 5-yard penalty. 2nd and 15. Out to the 30-yard line. A gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd and 9. Dick Enberg, Bob Trumpy, Hannah Storm, welcome to the Coliseum in Los Angeles. For those of you who have watched that classic game as the Vikings prevail over the Dolphins 38-35. And the difference here, this play early, the first punt of the game, Darian Gordon slips through a couple of early tacklers and then goes 90 yards for a San Diego Charger touchdown. The 3rd play for touchdown of 90 yards or more by San Diego this year. John Carney then with a 38-yard field goal. It's 3rd and 9, 2:41 left. And the throw is over Andrew Glover, and once again Hostetler being flushed by the pass pressure from San Diego.
And there's also great zone coverage by the Chargers defense, and the inability so far the Raiders to run again has got the Raiders in this spot. The zone defense is dropping deep, and Hostetler has very few options available to him.
Gossett with 2 long kicks that are even better than his league-leading average of 47.5. Gordon at the other end of the 25. Another boomer toward the sidelines. Gordon sidesteps and gets to the 27-yard line. And we'll take a break here with 2:24 remaining in the opening quarter. 10-0 San Diego. And welcome back to the Coliseum. 10-0 San Diego. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm. The question we asked at the start of the telecast, will the Raiders be able to keep that offense that they showed in Denver, or will we see the Raider offense of the first 2 games?
Well, to the first part of this game, Dick, they've shown nothing but finesse. They've thrown screens. They've tried to get things out on the flat. There's good pressure on Jeff Hostetler. So it looks like last week's performance against Denver was the aberration. They still must establish some control of the line of scrimmage with the running game. They've not come close to that yet.
In part due to some frenetic play by San Diego Chargers. They may be grossly underscored defensively. Stan Humphries takes over at his own 26. Throws over the middle, and it's the tight end, Dwayne Young, who catches few. In fact, that's only his 2nd catch of the year. His best ever season was last year when he grabbed 6.
And one of the best things about Stan Humphries here is he looks all over. He's looking outside. He hasn't really got a favorite receiver. So he does appear, when you watch him on tape, to scan the entire field for an open receiver, whatever that guy's number is.
He said, I consider myself a gambler, but I'm really maturing because I'm not going to take the chances that I did even a year or 2 years ago. Fires this one underneath, and Natron Means, and he's to the 36. That'll be very close to a first down. Winston Moss on the coverage, and using short pass plays. Humphries is 6'4'7", leads the NFL passing corps in efficiency coming in.
You're right. Duncan and Dinkin here, just taking what the defense will allow, not being impatient, knows he's on the road, admitted to us last night, look, I'm protecting the ball. This kid has yet to throw an interception, Stan Humphries, which is what Bobby Ross likes as a head coach.
Chargers wearing their uniforms of the 60s. Their first year in the AFL was right here. They were the LA Chargers, played at the Coliseum. Humphries uses a timeout with 1:04 left in the opening quarter. San Diego impressively off to a 10-0 lead. 4 remaining in the quarter. 10-0 San Diego. First down play at their 37. Balance gets off, and it's a first down at the Raider 48-yard line to Mark Seau. Humphries being swallowed by McLaughlin just did get it off, and one of the keys to San Diego's success, a healthy arm for Stan Humphries.
This is also a very nice move by this young man. He gets inside the line of Washington, and again Humphries right in the breadbasket. Humphries is given little credit for how accurate he is, but now that his shoulder is healthy, he throws for a high percentage of completion.
7 for 8 today, 65 yards, 14 on that last throw to Seau. Jefferson in motion, and the Natron Means, and the big guy is inside the 45 to the 44. As the final seconds tick away, Stan Humphries, who started his collegiate career at Northeastern Louisiana behind Bubby Brister, and then went on to the Washington Redskins. A Bobby Beathard pick. 10-0. Owner of the San Diego Chargers, watching from the press level, just a couple of booths down from us. What's getting close to greatness, Bob?
Yes, it is. A long time ago, Mr. Bob, there's Alex Panos. Bob Hope was known as Packy East when he was a fighter. Did you know that?
That's right. Cleveland, Ohio.
Packy East.
They're old golf buddies, Mr. Spanos and Mr. Hope. Start the second quarter. Stan Humphries trying to elude the rush and can't. He's down at the 48. Finally securing the tackle, Jerry Ball, the former Lion, former Brown.
Good pressure by Jerry Ball. It's a rollout, and there's really no receiver available. The guy that really does the great job is Anthony Smith. He keeps, we'll see it here. Watch 94 Anthony Smith right here. He keeps Humphries in the pocket. And when he pulls up, that allows Jerry Ball to make the sack. But Humphries does make the right choice. He doesn't try to force it in there.
Jerry Ball, just a little over 6 feet tall and 300 pounds. He said, if I was 6'5", they'd put me outside and pay me $6 million. The way I could rush the passer. Timeout is called just into the second quarter. On a very warm September Sunday, it's over 90 on the field. Third down and long for Humphries. And he wants to go long. No one open. Now Sean Jefferson is all alone, but he can't get there. Eddie Anderson held him up, and the flag is down. Jefferson trying to come back to the ball. He had beaten Anderson by about 15 yards. The ball not thrown deeply enough, but the flag down.
Eddie Anderson had no idea what was going on.
It's a 50-yard penalty if interference, and that's the call.
Well, to begin with, somebody dropped coverage on Jefferson completely. Look, the corner just stops.
Number 33. We will place the ball at the spot on the ball on the 1-yard line. First down.
It was Lionel Washington who dropped the coverage, and then Eddie Anderson had his back to the quarterback, which is a cardinal sin for defensive backs. That's an obvious call. Now, there might also be some conversation about uncatchable, but if Eddie Anderson's not there, Jefferson comes right back to make the reception.
A 90-yard punt return for a touchdown and a 50-yard interference call, and the Raiders, number one, consistently through the last decade in penalties.
Both wide receivers are deeper than the coverage. Stan Humphries actually had his choice. He throws it to Jefferson, and there the interference is going to be called. First and goal, Chargers. Raiders, bad coverage there.
Ball inside the one. Naquan Means to the goal line and not in. Good goal line defense. Andre Bruce, 56, and 29 Albert Lewis there in the corner to help out the beef inside.
Did I notice the up back there is Rockethead?
Yes, Steve Hendrickson.
Steve Hendrickson, who spent the summer here with the Los Angeles Raiders, signed a free agent contract with the Raiders.
34, Hendrickson, who can play tight end, can play be a running back. He scored, remember the playoffs, scored a touchdown against Kansas City 2 years ago. Former 49er, former Raider, they picked him up as a free agent to give it to Means, trying to get outside. He does. Touchdown, San Diego.
Nice move.
He loves the NBA. 7 carries, only 7 yards for Means, but 6 points. Connie's extra point try. Gilbert's hold, and San Diego 3-0 in the West, leads here in Los Angeles 17-0.
Deems May 88 with the lead block along with Hendrickson, and watch Means, that little dip draws the defensive back up, and he comes to the corner for the easy 6. Big lead, Chargers.
17-0 lead with 13:37 left in the first half. Rocket and Alexander Wright is back this time as Carter takes it. From Dallas, he's got blockers and room. And out of bounds near midfield. Carney pushed him out at the 48-yard line. A 44-yard return for Alexander Wright. Start from the 48. Averaging only 2.7 yards per play against San Diego in this first game. They're looking for something big. Good protection this time. Down the middle, incomplete off Tim Brown.
Thrown
to be open.
Thrown behind him. Brown, probably the Raiders' best receiver, but he's relegated to the crossing patterns. They allow Jet and Wright to go deep, and Tim Brown has got to take the heavy work across the middle. That time Hostetler threw a little bit behind him.
And the offensive line gave Hostetler his best protection of the game for that pass. That's the kind of help that Hostetler needs to look for the long bomb, which has been basically absent in the first 3 games this season for the Raiders.
Wentz.
Misses. Montgomery dragged down at the 48-yard line in San Diego territory. Boy, did that Seau shoot through there.
Nick, that's why he is the best middle linebacker in the game, because he can get through the gap before anybody can lay a glove on him. He's almost there to take the handoff. Tom Rathman, 44, comes back. There's no way that play is designed for Rathman to go back and make that block, but the veteran does and just picks him off of the ball carrier.
And that block was worth almost 4 yards.
Yes.
More than that, he gained 4, and they would have lost about 3 or 4. Chargers crowd 9 men on the line of scrimmage. Flags are down. And Brown incomplete at the 34. Fans want interference. Darian Gordon. Here that the Chargers leaned into the neutral zone.
On the offense, number 8.
Oh my, they won't
Prior
like
to the
that.
snap, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, so far the Raiders have shown one little composure. When you would expect a veteran offensive line, when they're threatened at the line of scrimmage, to stand in there. Let's see if we can see at the top of the screen who makes the movement. Oh, it's the receiver. Is that Tim Brown, 81?
Yes.
He's looking in there at the football. That's just a lack of concentration.
So the Raiders 6 penalties, 75 yards, no penalties for San Diego. 3rd and about 11. Screen that worked the first time and does again. Harvey Williams to the 40. A first down for the Raiders. Lateral. And it's James Jett down to the 25. Was that a lateral or a fumble in the air?
Dick, I think it was a fumble. The screen, the inside screen has worked for the Los Angeles Raiders. There's Junior Seau. When is it stripped through? Well, he's rolling over. It was pulled out by the San Diego Chargers. So they're lucky to get Jett on the ground. With that kid's speed, you can't miss one tackle against James Jett.
Or maybe that's the break the Raiders need. A fumble goes for extra yardage. Now it's Montgomery on the corner. And out of bounds, Dwayne Harper. Former Seattle Seahawk over there to make the play.
Last week against the Denver Broncos, Ty Montgomery supplied the big play in the opening series. I should say in the opening quarter, that catch from Jeff Hostetler that he runs in for the touchdown. And the Raiders told us, look, we're just a big play or 2 away from being all right, being fine.
5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5. Hostetler in trouble. Oh, gets away. Great job by the Haas.
Here comes Junior.
And he's to the 20-yard line. No gain as Seau makes the stop.
Last play, only 2 receivers in the pattern by the Raiders. You have Rathman drop through, but when Hostetler can't find one of those 2 available, he has no choice but to run around and try to gain positive. There's 6 Chargers to cover 2 Raiders down the field. And that's why the sack took place.
Seau with the sack, and Hostetler tries to get rid of it. It's intercepted by Eric Castle. Eric Castle to the 25-yard line. Had the whistle sounded. Castle, the second-year back from Oregon, with his first career interception, if it counts. The official waving timeout back at the 25, which would indicate the whistle blew that Hostetler was in the grasp.
Nick, there's a safety blitz. Stanley Richard is also in here to flush. There you see 24. He runs into Junior Seau.
Called in the grass, moving backwards. The play was dead. Right there. There is no interception.
Boy, that's a break for the Raiders.
Yes, it
and now
is.
we'll have a long field goal try by Jeff Jager.
Leslie O'Neal closing again. That's another big hit on Jeff Hostetler.
And Seau, it's just hard to believe he went through all last year without a single sack. With the one today, he's got 3.5 for the year. He has 2 today. Almost a third there. 43-yarder by Jaeger, and the Raiders are on the board. So Hostetler's toughness saved that possession for the Raiders, the whistle, and it's worth 3 points. The Raiders have rookie Andre Coleman deep. Kansas State 17-3 as Jaeger gets a end over end to the 5. Coleman finds a seam and is in the clear at the 30. Can anyone catch him? 40, and from behind, dragged down at the 42. And it took the speed of Alexander Wright to get him. Another big kick return for San Diego. 52 yards. 90-yard punt return for a touchdown by Gordon in the first quarter.
Big special teams are the personality of any particular football game. The punt return by the Chargers to start the game, this kickoff return, they are taking all phases of the game to heart today against the Los Angeles Raiders. The Raiders' special teams to this point have not played well.
Coleman had a 48-yard return earlier, so that's the longest of his young NFL career. And the Chargers and Humphrey set up shop at the Raider 43. Good protection for Humphries. Comeback pattern to Mark Seau, and Seau has a first down at the Raider 27. Lionel Washington, the tackle. 17-yard play.
Seau is a kid that you can certainly root for, all he's been through, but Washington on the outside, he's looking through the receiver to the quarterback. Great acceleration. Whenever you look at Mark Seau, the years he spent with the San Francisco 49ers, you see a lot of Jerry Rice in his patterns, don't
John
you?
Taylor,
yes.
too, yep.
A good student knows when he's got a great teacher, and Seau had John Taylor and Rice at San Francisco.
3 catches today, gives him 12 for the year, and here's Bieniemy, the former Colorado star, giving Natron Means a breather. He's to the 22.
Dick, we want to go in the grid here to the big interference penalty against the Los Angeles.
Bieniemy on the sweep. And great Beaker, and little linebacker traversing well to make the tackle at the 21.
That was Natron Means on the sideline taking a breath.
8 for 9 for Humphries as he sets up, scrambles, and fights close to a first down at the 16-yard line. Humphries, 223 pounds, running like a fullback.
Is very proud of the fact and is willing to tell you immediately, I hang around with the offensive linemen. I'm a blue-collar guy. I'm not one of these glitzy Hollywood types.
I thought somebody might have taken it away from him there. In fact, Nolan Harrison had his hands on the ball, and it's a matter of the spot, and it's a generous spot inside the 16, and that's a first down.
Yeah, again, though, protecting that football, not throwing it up for a possible interception so close to the goal line.
6:43 left in the first half. 17-3 San Diego. It's Bieniemy at the 10. And Bieniemy is to the 6. First and goal. If that is a first down, it'll be close.
This young man's a great story. Again with Bobby Beathard in the salary cap. Bieniemy was cut in April because of the salary cap. Re-signed in June. Admits that he was kind of a wild child. Got married, settled down. And he is the one who spells Natron Means, but they think just as a kind of a relief running back, very good for the Chargers.
Not quite a first down, second and less than a yard. The knock on Bieniemy was that he fumbled. And he does. Muffs that toss at the 11-yard line. It'll be third and about 5. Beekert there to make sure for Los Angeles.
But was it on Bieniemy? Yeah, there's no question. This ball is right in his breadbasket, but he is looking for that lead blocker.
Nothing wrong with the toss.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the toss.
He has small hands and did have troubles with fumbling at Colorado, but nevertheless, one of the great rushers in collegiate football, and left Colorado with almost 4,000 yards, their all-time rusher. And Humphreys has used another timeout. Ray Coleman's 52-yard kickoff return after the Jaeger field goal, setting the Chargers up in Los Angeles territory. And it's now 3rd and 5 just outside the 10-yard line. Eric Bieniemy, a couple of good runs, and then Muff, the toss on the sweep. He's out. Ronnie Harmon, 3rd down pass catching specialist, is in, lined up just outside the left tackle, and that's Sean Jefferson in motion. Humphreys has completed 8 in a row. 9 in a row to Deans May, his first ever NFL catch in his 3 seasons in San Diego, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. Bobby Ross says, how far is it today? 17-3, go for it. And there's nothing that fans like more when their team goes for it. No, I guess not. It looked like that was a signal for let's go for it. But he said, let's go for 3.
Yeah. Again, Bobby Ross, in all his years of coaching, very conservative. He's always going to take the points, I believe, Dick.
He just inside the 15, so a 24-yard field goal attempt by Carney. Gilbert, his new holder, the backup quarterback. And just did go through. It looked as if one of the Raiders had his hand on it. It's the right side. 2. 20. Right into the waiting arms of 3 Charger tacklers. A reminder, the comedy for 15. Well, that's not right. He had 4 touchdown passes, and oh, that's in the first half. Excuse me, first half. 3 touchdowns, finished with 4 as Bieniemy shaken making the tackle on the kick return.
Now, the other thing about Jeff Hostetler, you looked at his numbers there last week and this week. Last week they had an awful good running game to go with those numbers. Gave him separation from the defensive line. Little or no running game to this point in the first half.
Tyrone Montgomery and Rathman split behind Hostetler. Tim Brown, and he's at the 46-yard line of San Diego of the Raiders. Darian Gordon pushes him out of bounds. Brown has a way of getting away from the enemy by a good piece of real estate.
But this is just drop coverage again by Gordon. We saw the Raiders do it. Here the Chargers do it. Darian Gordon, 21, maybe trying to do a little too much up there to look for the underneath receiver. They got his coverage of Tim Brown.
Tim Brown came in with 18 catches and 2 touchdowns. 24 yards on that play, his first catch today. Glover, the tight end, shifts to the other side, and Hostetler uses a timeout with 3:34 to go. And that is more than a number. They call him Pumbaa, the character of the warthog in The Lion King. Kevin Gogan, he'll clean up a table for you, and lives up in the woods outside of Seattle, Washington.
Ball City, Washington. Out there, he's got a gravel road up to his house. He's the king of the pickup truck. He has 2 Super Bowl rings from the Dallas Cowboys. Started his career as a tackle and now plays guard for the Los Angeles Raiders, and apparently is one of the real cut-em-ups on the Los Angeles Raiders. He's not afraid to drop a joke here and there.
Well, he grew up in San Francisco as a big baseball fan. He was a first baseman. Loved Willie McCovey, who wouldn't in San Francisco. Said they had a unique way of sneaking into the 49er games.
Yeah, there's a big fence around Candlestick. They used to go in there and arrest each other, put handcuffs on. I'll continue in a minute.
As Hostetler resumes play, first down at the 47. Logan, the right guard, number 66 to protect and block. And spinning into Charger territory is Harvey Williams to the 45-yard line.
As you watch Kevin Gogan do a good job of pushing and shoving. Anyway, when he was in San Francisco, you can get inside the fence, and then they put handcuffs on each other, and the other one would portray itself as a security guy and walk him into the stadium, supposedly to the security office, get in the stadium, take the handcuffs off, and watch the 49ers play.
That is unique. You arrest each other in the parking lot, and that's how you got back into the stadium. Second down, a long 2 for Hostetler. Trailing 20-3. The scramble and outbound Seau gives him a push. He was inbounds when he gave him the push at the 40-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff Hostetler has taken a beating. Last year, with all the sacks that he had to suffer with, they are all over this quarterback. Seau again with that great closing speed.
Let's see if he's inbounds when he makes contact. He is.
And then Hostetler, I think, is saying that somebody tripped him as he got there, but it may have been on the carpet that's on the sideline. The net result is, I mean, again, Hostetler on the ground hard.
First down play. Screening. Complete to Rathman. And Rathman, no play, apparently. It hit the ground. It's ruled a trap. As Hostetler, under heavy pressure, he delivered that ball.
He got hammered again.
Reuben Davis, it looked to be playing with a dislocated left elbow, was the man at 320 pounds who was in on the quarterback.
Ball on the ground, no question about that. You can handle that, but again,
Sean Lee, 98.
Sean Lee, 98 again puts Hostetler. There's going to have to be some double detergent on the pants of Hostetler. They are putting him to the ground all over the place in this first half.
It's interesting. Sean Lee, 98, and Reuben Davis, 93, shoulder to shoulder, were both rookies, draft picks of Tampa Bay in 88. To the sideline, and a good play made by Darren Carrington, knocking it away from Andrew Glover, the tight end.
And that ball floated. I mean, Hostetler has...
Flags are down, and here we go. A scramble at the 47.
AFC West.
Steve Wisniewski, and he's the policeman on that offensive line, saying, don't you be doing whatever you've been doing. I think Sean Lee was in the thick of it. He might have been, or Davis, down under the pile of Raiders. A quiet man. They called him Angus when he was blocking on the left side of the Raider line. It's one of those personal fouls both ways. No play.
See if we can get Mims. O'Neal. Then O'Neal and Wisniewski get into it. Wisniewski is always finishing off every play in his own personal way.
Personal foul, 93. Personal foul, 66. The penalty's offset. 93 has been ejected.
Wait a minute, only one?
Reuben Davis is ejected, and he was the one who was under the pile, I believe. Maybe he came in after the fact.
O'Neal was underneath the pile. Wisniewski was on him, and Reuben Davis realizes now what he's done. He lost his temper, and the guy who fires back is always the one who pays the dearest price. And to this point, that defensive line has been playing beautifully, Dick.
Let's see, Reggie White, number 90. Not the Reggie White, now with the Green Bay Packers, but Reggie White from North Carolina A&T comes in. Hostetler on 3rd and 10. Into the flat. James Jett. Down at the 13, Darian Gordon. As the clock ticks down to the 2-minute timeout, the Raiders fans are excited. 27 on that play.
The last pass completion by Jeff Hostetler to the outside. Ball floated a little bit, but James Jett does make the catch, and he is so dangerous with his shocking speed. You can't miss a tackle on James Jett. Even though he's a track athlete, a former track athlete, he shows great football instincts and can break a tackle and run it in the end zone.
So first down for the Raiders at the 13-yard line of San Diego, trailing 20-3, and this is a must touchdown opportunity for the Raiders going into the locker room at halftime. 2 minutes to go. Both teams have spent all 3 timeouts. There, a couple of yards off the left side. Former Lion Dennis Gibson along with Junior Seau to make the stop.
There are times when the Chargers play, you swear there's more than 155 out there. And he makes tackles in the backfield, 20 yards deep, out there on the sweep, helped with Dennis Gibson, the most active middle linebacker in the game today.
He plays as hard in practice as he does in the game. 2nd and 8. Hostetler into the end zone. Overshoots James Jett. Dwayne Harper on the coverage. Hostetler a cool first half. Trailing 20-3. Over the middle, complete to the tight end Glover, hit at the 5 and driven back. It'll be short of the first down as Dwayne Harper made the initial hit.
Now here's a big choice for Art Shell. I don't care what the yardage is here. For a little pump to the psychology of his team, go for it.
Going to need 3 scores anyway, down 20-3.
What's his choice here? Now they're huddling up.
The ball spotted on the 6-yard line. They need to get inside, well, to the 3 for the first down.
But they have 3 wides and just 1 running back, Dick.
And it's given to Harvey Williams, who drives and does not make it. He stopped shy of the 4-yard line.
Art Shell did not have the personnel in the game to make that decision.
And for the Raiders, the rushing yards for both teams are low. And for the Raiders, 33 yards, and their running backs only 2.4. And on that call, 4th and 3, they needed 3,
yes.
and they aren't averaging that. And that was crucial to the mood of both teams at halftime.
Yeah, I think what happened, it kind of fed on each other. They ran out of timeouts. They used them in the first half, so they couldn't change personnel, in my opinion, in that very crucial play. So Art Shell had to go with a 1 running back, 8 tight end, 3 wide receiver set against a very tough rushing defense to try to convert the 4th down to keep the drive alive. Couldn't do it. So the Raiders are down inside the 15-yard line twice, only get 3 points.
I understand Hannah Storm has been talking with Art Shell and asked just that question. Did he have the right people in the game? Hannah?
Well, Dick, I just talked to Coach Art Shell, and he said on that 4th down play, that was absolutely the formation that he intended with the 3 wideouts and the single back set. He did not elaborate. I also asked him what was wrong with his team in the first half. He said they're out of sync. He did not expect this kind of performance in the first half, and frankly, he doesn't know where it's coming from, but he said they're missing plays right and left. Dick?
So Art is saying that he had the 3 wide receivers hoping that the Chargers would think fast and fool him with the run.
Dick, we've seen the Raiders a lot in the last 2 or 3 years. I can count on one hand the time I've seen single back running play formations. Passing, yes. Not running back, running play formations. So I'm not disputing what Art Shell says, but I think the lack of timeouts forced Art to come up with a run out of that. This is normally a team that, with their inability to run the football, why would you even think about a single back running play on 4th and 3?
Where you need that other back up there to get
Sure.
the hole.
There's
meanwhile, yeah, he's the guy that you want leading you through. And meanwhile, the Chargers used 2 brilliant kick returns, one 90 yards for a touchdown on a punt return by Darian Gordon, plus a 52-yard kickoff return by Andre Coleman. That led to 10 of their 20 points. And Coleman is deep. There's Gordon, who will be used at quarterback next time he takes the field. Jager kicks it off. Second half is underway. Short. One of the upbacks will take it. It's Ronnie Harmon at the 20, 30. Harmon will love to get a chance to run and shows it. Is across the 40-yard line. Finally brought down by Dan Land and Patrick Bates, a 25-yard return. Stan Humphries has completed 9 consecutive passes as he takes the field. As you can see, for short yardage, only 86 total yards, 9 out of 10. Hostetler, handful of yards more, 6 for 15.
And Dick, coaches preach that special teams will, in a football season, win you or lose you 3 football games. Special teams today are helping the San Diego Chargers win this one.
Humphries starts at the 41. Comes out passing. And incomplete to Mark Say on the near sidelines. He had spun away from the coverage of Lionel Washington, but tripped as he made his cut. Say, a man with a bullet lodged near his heart as he took that shot to save a 3-year-old niece. A well-documented story a few years ago while in college at Long Beach State.
Her name is Tashonda. Is a sister's daughter. Tashonda is now 7 years old. Part of the story that I like was that how far George Allen, the old Rams coach, went for this kid to get him eligible for college football.
Finds a hole, and And while he'd been held only 7 yards the first half, picks up that much and maybe 8 on the carry before Craig Beekert makes a hit out at the 48-yard line.
Means is a young man who is used to carrying the ball at North Carolina 25 to 30 times a game. Very hard to wear out. That's a very restful half for Natron Means. Just 7 carries, that being his eighth here in the second half.
Well, that's not the ways of Means, is it?
He does Means business.
They're down, and it's about third. Anthony Smith hits Humphreys as Humphreys completes the pass to Seau, and a first down at the Raider 48. As Anthony Smith around the corner and drilling Humphreys. How did he get that one accurately into the arms of his receiver?
Again, though, this is from behind the defense. Anthony Smith comes from the right side around Harry Swain, number 72. That's the strength of Humphreys. You know, 230 pounds. He can take a hit like that. Anthony Smith hits him good. But to miss the sack and the completion stands, great play.
At the 46 of Los Angeles. John Jefferson in motion, the toss to Means. And he's toppled after a gain of maybe a yard. Down low, Beekert and Chester McLaughlin was in on the play as well. And second down. Throws for Deems May, and he catches it. What a throw! Off balance. He just lost a little lob shot to the sidelines, and Deems May, who hadn't caught a pass in 3 years until today, has it for 18 yards.
Dick, when he first threw it, I thought he was just throwing it away. Deems May keeps going after it.
Oh, my.
How about that catch? Winston Moss, 99 in coverage. Look, to this point in this 1994 season, everything that San Diego done has worked. Everything, they've gotten every break. They've taken advantage of every break. Everything they've done has worked.
Well, you got to go to the sidelines and credit Bobby Ross for that. Over the middle of the throw. And inside the 15-yard line goes Sean. No, it's Seau again. Mark Seau. Terry McDaniel and Eddie Anderson collaborate on the stop. And this young man, 15 more yards for Seau, who has been the favorite receiver of Humphreys today with 5 catches.
McDaniel again, zone coverage, looking through the receiver back at the quarterback, and the safety didn't fill quickly enough. Seau had 8 catches for 119 yards 2 weeks ago against the Bengals.
Not caught an NFL pass prior to this season. Means, and he's greeted in the hole by Beekert again. No, that's his Nolan Harrison. And pointing down as if there's something he didn't find pleasure with.
I think what they were saying is that somebody had stripped the ball away, but the officials don't feel that way. This young defensive line, Dick, is good, but it misses Howie Long. His presence, his experience. When Means cuts back, Harrison right there in his face.
No game. Well, actually a yard loss. They mark it 2nd and 11. Bieniemy in for Means, and he has room outside. And then Powell to about the 8-yard line. Eric Public Bieniemy, as he was called in college, a 2nd-round pick by Bobby Beathard 3 years ago.
A little delay handoff to the running back. Single blocking, no help there. Bounces to the outside, outruns Beekert. Aaron Wallace can't quite get him. And runs over Lionel Washington. Eddie Anderson helps. But again, a good patient drive here by San Diego. Started at their own 40 with that big kickoff return by Ronnie Harmon.
Used nearly 5 minutes of this third quarter. 6 yards for Bieniemy on that play. 3rd and 5. Knocked out of the hands of Humphreys and out of bounds. Is it ruled a yes? Ruled a forward pass, and it's McLaughlin who has played a huge game. This big 310-pounder from Clemson, who in high school was a 275-pound linebacker. He said, I wasn't big enough to play on my high school line.
I don't believe that, but I don't want to see his other guys. Chester is going to be one of the great defensive linemen in this game, but because of a broken ankle at the end of last season and also a turf toe early last season, his development has kind of been stymied a little bit. But watch this kid.
27-yard attempt by John McCarney. And he is 3-4-3.
This was a test of his genius this season.
And all the changes. Carney's kickoff, very short and on the run. Alexander Wright. Great start, and Carney can't get him. Darian Gordon does, but not until the 30-yard line of San Diego. Well, the short kick, and Alexander Wright was at full speed when he caught it. 55-yard return.
Dick, when he gets the ball, 3 strides, 1, 2, 3, and he is really by the coverage. Carney can't get him, and Darian Gordon, the guy who returned the punt for the touchdown, knocks him out on a big special team stop.
NFL's fastest man in 92 and 93, Alexander Wright. He has a 44 and now a 55-yard kickoff return from the 29 Hostetler. Flushed out of the pocket over the middle. Tim Brown. It'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line. Dwayne Harper rides him down.
Great protection by the Raiders offensive line. Hostetler had lots and lots of time.
23 yards.
From behind the offense, the line does a great job of just pushing everybody on the left side to the inside. Defensive end loses contained. Brown's just sitting down there in the middle. Hostetler makes a nice completion. First and goal Raiders.
Looking for their initial touchdown of this game. Brown in motion. Here's Montgomery. Trying to get around the corner and loses 3 yards as Darian Gordon with the force on the run from his cornerback spot.
They were playing chicken. When they watched the move by Montgomery, and he tries to fake out Darian Gordon. Chicken, who's going to move? Whoop. And Gordon with those long arms able to get just a hand on Ty Montgomery, and he loses 3 yards maybe.
And Tom Rathman did a terrific job of sealing off Junior Seau with a block. Rathman and Harvey Williams now in a flag down.
There is no fall. Please put 25 seconds back. 25 seconds back on the 40-25 clock.
It'll be second and goal from outside the 9-yard line. It's one of those sauruses. We'll have to go back to encyclopedia. Thought those were extinct, but I guess not. No, it's Harvey Williams. Harvey Williams flying to the goal line and barely shy of a touchdown. Boy, that's a courageous effort by Williams.
A swing out of the backfield. Harvey Williams is the outlet receiver. Hostetler hits him perfectly in stride, and then he tries to hurdle everyone.
Luckily, Steve Hendrickson in on that tackle helped him to the ground. Broke the fall.
That's a great throw by Jeff Hostetler right there.
From the 1-inch line. It's Williams. And Seau denies the touchdown. Oh, my. Junior Seau with that explosion of his to the ball carrier.
Yes, that closing speed. Now another 4th down. Does he have 1 back in there or 2?
That's 8 tackles and 2 sacks for Seau. As Shell looking out at Hostetler. The signals for the play called do not go through Shell, but
they go from
Fred Biletnikoff.
Yeah. Tom Walsh upstairs, Fred Biletnikoff up downstairs, and they take the timeout.
So it'll be 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Tom Walsh, he's called the play, and Jeff Hostetler has gone into the huddle with it. The ball is just outside the 1. 4th and goal. Rathman is in there with Harvey Williams.
So it's 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end.
Actually 2 tight ends, Andrew Glover and Jamie Williams, with Tim Brown, the wide receiver. He's to the right. Brown in motion. Hostetler. And touchdown! What an effort by Hostetler!
skirmish between Leslie O'Neal and Steve Wisniewski, who were involved earlier in the game, and that was the fracas that led to Reuben Davis being thrown out for San Diego. So Hostetler, his own athletic talent to get the Raiders in the end zone. Not an easy scramble for a 1-yard touchdown.
No question that there was great coverage by San Diego, and it was a half roll. And you're right, that is all credit to Jeff Hostetler. Did not give up on that play.
The play call is obviously to either the tight end or to Tim Brown on the right side for a pass, but Hostetler ad-libs it into the end zone. Jager's try for point. Dead center, and the Raiders with their first touchdown, pull within 13, a 29-yard drive after the kickoff return.
Thanks to Harvey Williams, looks out there and immediately understands that the numbers are for San Diego. Nice little move, puts his head down like a fullback. Hostetler scores.
And now Jager sends a skidding kick down to Andre Coleman at the 20. The rookie trying to get outside is at the 30. And finally dragged down at the 35-yard line. Back to the Hostetler touchdown.
Hostetler does a great job because the primary receiver is right here. It's the tight end running a little flare. Tim Brown is going to try to pick. Rathman comes out in the flat, but you're going to see everybody gets crowded up here at the point where Hostetler has to make the decision. And he looks here and says, nothing there. And then he turns runner. And he does a nice little move there, puts his head down. You don't see many quarterbacks in the NFL run like that.
Humphreys from his own 35 off play action, wants to go long and has a man downfield. Mark Say, and no penalty. Lionel Washington was beaten on the play, and Say limps off. Incidental contact.
Oh, but they've called it so closely on defensive backs to this point in the season. Their feet get tangled up. Is Washington looking back at the ball? He does, and he kind of goes through the receiver to get to it. Well, I'm shocked that there's no flag. We've seen a lot less contact that's drawn the flag, and it was catchable. If he stays on his feet, that's a completion.
Say, the leading receiver with 5 catches today, and they send him deep, and it's a double penalty for San Diego if indeed Say also has injured himself enough not to return. It'll be 2nd and 10. That's something that the Chargers have shown in this early season. They seem conservative, run the ball, short passes, and then when they think they've got that spot, we'll try to stretch it deep.
Yeah, that's turning the knife after they already have it in. Get them all worried about Natron Means at the line of scrimmage and the little dink and dunk that they do, and then, yeah, turn one loose.
Meanwhile, Stan Humphreys, 61% plus, 6 touchdown passes, no interceptions this year. Natron Means, and a flag down as Means unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. Winston Moss feels that was a hold against San Diego.
Now they tried to run the counter, and the Raiders blew it up. Holding Chargers, you're right, Dick.
It'll either be 3rd and 11 or 2nd and 20. Moss looks to the sidelines for the call, and they'll take the penalty.
Holding, number 67 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, it's always the way you talk about offensive lineman Stan Brock, the old pro, 36 years of age in his 15th season, and Humphrey so high in praise of Brock. He said, here's this old pro giving us the intensity of a rookie is all business, and he's shown our young players how to be a pro, how to play like one.
I got it caught there. You know, veterans get away with holding more than rookies, but he got caught there.
2nd and 20. Humphreys incomplete. Looking for Tony Martin, the recipient of that 99-yard touchdown last Sunday in Seattle.
Dick, To this point, this is a very poor series for the San Diego Chargers. First play, low percentage pass down the middle, no flag. Second play, they run the counter. It's stopped dead. Then they try to go deep again. Now third down and long. Really puts the offense in a real tough spot. Ralph Reason, the offensive coordinator of the San Diego Chargers, I'm not sure about this particular series here. They could have done this a lot better.
This region who made the call on the 1-foot line to go for the bomb last week in Seattle. And he calls pass here. Humphreys is deflected, intended for Sean Jefferson. I believe Anthony Smith got a hand on it.
Yeah, now see, Dick, that last drive by the Raiders got them back in the game, got the fans back in the game. The Chargers had the opportunity to close them down, and they instead choose to throw a lot. Anthony Smith does get his hand up, and now you've given a slight bit of momentum to the Los Angeles Raiders.
First time the Chargers have had to punt today. That's how well they've moved the ball. Brian Wagner, his second week as the San Diego punter from Cal State Northridge. To Tim Brown at the 36. And out of bounds shy of midfield, so the Raiders are back in good field position. 23-10 San Diego. Activity in this sport, play center for the Raiders. In their history going back to 1960, basically from 60 to 1994, only 3 men have played that position. Jim Otto in 12 Pro Bowls, Dave Galby another, and then when Galby left, Don Mosbar was moved from guard and tackle into play center, and he's now in his 12th year. There's Jim Otto, one of the greats, Hall of Famer. He was part of the Throwbacks weekend, the 75th anniversary season in the coin toss.
Wore that double bar face mask and the bull ring in the top of his helmet for years as a center.
There's the other ring, the first Super Bowl ring.
He's the gentleman you may have seen a lot of tape on. The number of knee surgeries he had and then had knee replacements. He is now like a new man. And Jim is a great guy, and now he can move around a little bit.
Well, the Raiders starting to move, and it's Rathman now as he broke into the clear. A good gain to the 45. What a week for him. On the 45, second and short, and reverse to Rocket. Chased by Leslie O'Neal, and finally written to the sidelines by Dwayne Harper. First down at the 35.
And Dick, momentum now slipping over to the Raiders' side of the football, and anytime you can get the Rocket involved in your offense, he can turn anything into a big play. That was an 11-yard reverse. There's Arnsparger. That last offensive series by San Diego, and it gave the Raiders just a little fresh breath of air.
Well, they got the kickoff return, the long return to the 29, and then the Hostetler fourth down scramble for a touchdown, and a stop, the first time they've stopped San Diego, and now they're back in Charger territory. And Hostetler underneath, Harvey Williams, good move. Another first down to the 24-yard line.
We've talked a lot about Junior Seau, that middle linebacker, drops back in coverage, reading the quarterback's eyes, and Harvey Williams makes Junior miss. Gibson finally there to assist on the tackle.
To the 23-yard line with 4:15 left in the third period.
Chargers need a blitz here, Dick, to disrupt this momentum that the Raiders have established. A blitz.
Hostetler throws it away. It was Chris Mims shooting in from that left-hand position. Mims who replaced Bert Grossman. Grossman set away, and the blade from Tennessee on the top of Hostetler too quickly. Didn't go for the fake.
Yeah, they don't block Mims, and they're hoping he sinks down inside so that Hostetler was out there by himself. Andrew Glover, the tight end, was going to be the primary receiver. But Mims played it honestly. When he came out of Tennessee, not very strong since he began working on the weights. Now he is a legitimate NFL defensive end.
6'5" and 290, and he's only 24. That's what he's going to stand next Tuesday.
Free play. Free play.
Touchdown, Rocket Ismail. Bernie Kukar into indicating that the penalty was against San Diego. And Hostetler, 24 yards to Rocket Ismail. And here come the Raiders. With a successful extra point, the Raiders will be within 6. Jacob makes it 23-17. Rocket Ismail's first touchdown catch of this new season.
Rocket runs the post. So does the inside man. You've got man coverage here. Hostetler, an excellent job. And of course, the Rocket with great speed told us when he came out of the Canadian Football League what he had to learn was to accelerate out of the break. He certainly did there. Darian Gordon returned the punt return for a touchdown. He got 7. Here he bites on the outside fake, gives up 7 or 6 as the case may be. Rocket, we asked him about the Canadian Football League and you asked him how different it was. He said, well, they only have a 37-man roster, and they have a rule up there that says the teams can only practice 4 hours a day.
The players like that.
Yeah, meetings and practice.
So 2 possessions for the Raiders in this third quarter, 2 touchdowns. Hostetler's scramble on 4th down for the first, and now Haas to the Rocket, 24 yards. And the San Diego lead, once at 23-3, is carved to within 6.
Well, that's a look of determination on Hostetler's face.
Big position now for San Diego. Good kick, very high. Andre Coleman does a little dance and gets only to the 20-yard line. Torn bicep, and Whitley has replaced him. And his former college teammate, Chester McLaughlin, is a man that's given him a tough time, as has Jerry Ball. It's Natron. And a flag down, and things are starting to crack on the San Diego side. Terry McDaniel makes the stop. Holding again against the Chargers. So all the penalties went against the Raiders in the first half, and now it's turned the other way.
Holding number 80 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from where the play ended. Still first down.
Sean Jefferson, the wide receiver, trying to help out. The flag takes the penalty, takes it back to the 12.
You want the receiver to just get in the way, but Hoskins is the man. He just grabbed his jersey. You got to be a better actor than that, Sean.
It's an 8-yard penalty. Second down, 18. Humphries over the middle to Ronnie Harmon, and Harmon with a burst is out to the 30-yard line, and depending on where they spot it, if it's on the 30, it's a first down.
Again, Hoskins, the safety, was the man in coverage, and Harmon just with that simple circle route. He's flanked over on the right-hand side. You'll see him come in the picture. Humphries has so much confidence in Ronnie Harmon.
What a target he is. And look at him as a Charger. 46, 59, 7. You add those last 2 years, and no running back in the NFL has caught more passes, 152. It's just shy of the first down. They need to get to the 30. And Natron, with a second effort, is able to carry 2 tacklers to the first down. Chester McLaughlin and Anthony Smith, about 600 pounds on him.
He kind of leapt forward for that last little bit. There's Scott Davis back for the team picture, back for the game this week.
After a couple of years off and then returning, and then a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
Left for personal reasons.
Don't the Raiders get a bye next week? He took a 2-week bye. He'll have 2 byes this week or this year.
First down on Means' second effort. And Means, boy, they're really keying on him. And Jerry Ball and Winston Moss pin him for no gain.
Raiders up front guys have made it very difficult for Means to get through that that first line of defense. That's Gunther Cunningham, the defensive line coach. Now John Fox is now the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. He used to be a San Diego Charger assistant. Jim Haslett standing up there with the headset with this defense. The front seven doing a great job against a good running game.
Means with only 17 yards today and 13 carries. Humphries buys some time, trying to outrun Anthony Smith.
Oh, he slid feet first. He slid feet first, and then Anthony Smith kind of piled on him.
But Smith was already moving in on the tackle as he made the move, so no penalty.
This young man, one of those physical phenoms. Great speed, 6'3", 260. Well, they let it happen, but I thought when a quarterback slid feet first, that you couldn't make contact with him.
4-yard gain on the play. It's 3rd and 9.
Where's Ronnie Harmon?
Instead, they're going long for Seau. Tony Martin intercepted by Terry McDaniel. He's down by contact at the 15-yard line. The first interception thrown by Humphries this year. The first in 160 passes.
Dan Humphries tried to make a big play there when all he needed was a first down. Ronnie Harmon ran the out route, and it looked to me like the choice of Stan Humphries to go down the field produced the interception. McDaniel all over this one. Great timing. And he comes up with the interception.
McDaniel's second interception. Of course, he had one last week for a touchdown against John Elway of 15 yards. But that serves for San Diego the same as a 53-yard punt, no return. At the 15, the Raiders trail by 6. Final minute, 3rd quarter. And no gain as Junior Seau was in the backfield and forced it wide into the arms of Leslie O'Neal.
Yes, Junior right up the gut made Harvey just jump outside, and then the defensive end, Leslie O'Neal, there for the tackle.
And they'll not try to run a play, the Raiders. So the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. A big quarter after Carney kicked the field goal to give San Diego 23-3 lead. 2 touchdowns, the Raiders in it. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. I'm Dick Embrick. Welcome back to Los Angeles on a beautiful Sunday. The Raiders 14 unanswered points, and where would they be had they converted at the end of the first half? Remember, inside the 5-yard line and denied a first down. Hostetler on 2nd and 11. Lots of protection and wide open is Jett. James Jett had to make a turn and just shy of an 85-yard touchdown. Stanley Richard had been beaten.
Double zone run by the San Diego Chargers. Corners up, safeties out, and the former Olympic track sprinter just runs away from the coverage. Stanley Richard, the closest one. It was just a 2-man pattern, but Haas would like to have that one back. He hasn't missed many in this game, although in previous games he has missed those guys deep. And now it's 3rd and long.
It is Darryl Hobbs, his first catch today. And where they, good forward progress. They spotted across the 25, a first down.
Great protection for Hostetler. Boy, he could set and really fire that one into Hobbs. Watch the separation from the defensive line to Hostetler. Able to step forward, really fire the thing right into the gut of Hobbs. Man, that was a friendly spot. Very friendly spot.
He got the 10.5 yards on the first down. Williams with a great block. And another first down at the 37-yard line.
Boy, that was a wreck between Tom Rathman and Chris Mims, 94. Coming right at you. Watch Rathman come from the left-hand side. Mims, boom. And then Williams out there by himself. Another big block. And Gordon again with the assist. Junior Seau out there, but another first down.
At the 37-yard line with 13 minutes and 45 seconds left in the 4th quarter. From 23-17 San Diego. Hostetler gets it away to Tim Brown at the 41 of San Diego. Cut down by Steve Hendrickson, and Brown, he's not hurt. He was just thinking, I got it. And Hostetler was hit as he threw that ball. And Brown was thinking touchdown, full speed, and just tripped up.
When you run against zones, you try to get to the middle of the zone. That's the opening in the field, but it takes time. And this is a shoestring tackle by Steve Hendrickson. Right? Got a hold of the tip of the toe.
Down to the 41 of San Diego. And the Raiders moving it well, and Haas to throw again. And sacked he is from inside. It's 98 Sean Lee, who now has 2.5 sacks this year. That's 3 by the Chargers today. They were second in the league behind Dallas Cowboys with 15 team sacks, and the Chargers had 12 starting today.
The Grizzly, they called him, Sean Lee.
Sean Swoboda Lee. Dad was a big New York Mets fan. -6 on the sack that takes it, and I don't know about this one, but remember, he got it very slowly after the completed pass to Tim Brown. Vince Evans tunes up. We'll be back. Timeout for injury to Jeff Hostetler, who did leave under his own power, was favoring an ankle. So Vince Evans in on 2nd down and 16. And it's a screen to Williams. Well read by the defense of the Chargers. Very little gain, maybe a yard or two. Steve Hendrickson, who was with the Raiders in the summer camp, signed as a free agent, and then the Raiders released him, a very unhappy guy when he heard the news, and headed back down to San Diego, where he is well loved.
And here comes Hostetler back in. Now, Dick, we got to go back 3 plays. The completion to Tim Brown's the first time he gets hit. This is Sean Lee after the completion gets him to the ground. Then 2 plays ago, the one where he had to come out, that's Reggie White on the top, Mims on the bottom. He comes out. He has been hit hard today, Dick.
3rd and 16. Down the middle. Complete. That'll be enough for a first down. No, it's Rocket Ismail.
24, Stanley Richards on the blitz, picked up well by Harvey Williams. Good protection. They also had Junior Seau out there. The Chargers, sensing the momentum changing, trying to put something else in the mix, put something in Hostetler's face, but he's standing in there, getting good protection and making the completions. There you see Richards hit again, and he's down.
Needed 16 and got about 18. He's 7 for 9, well over 100 yards in this second half. Raiders threatening to take the lead as Harvey Williams tripped up and brought down for a loss at the 29. It was Chris Mims, 94, that had invaded the backfield and tripped him up. Big fan, as a kid, he said, of the Dallas Cowboys and Too Tall Jones. Well, he had the Too Tall reach to get down and trip up Williams.
Too Tall Jones was unblockable.
You ever tried?
Yes. And I can confirm he was unblockable.
Boy, a Jekyll and Hyde game for Hostetler. 6 for 15, struggling in the opening half and almost perfect here in the second half. 2nd and 13. Wide open again over the middle is Tim Brown. Another first down at the 12. And they're finding a huge gap in the middle of that San Diego zone.
That's exactly what it is. The middle of the San Diego zone. You're going to see the middle linebacker come out here. Here's Tim Brown just running the square in, and if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, you can see the big gap in the middle of the zone. The tight end crossing drags the linebacker, and Brown standing right there for the easy completion.
So open that he could actually turn away from the hit. Normally you catch that one and you're hit immediately. Just 12 yards from the lead, the Raiders. Rathman up the middle and flags down as Rathman gets near the 10.
Ball starts on the offense, the left tackle prior to the snap. The 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Gerald Perry, who played the spot that Art Shell glorified in the days with the Oakland Raiders.
Now, this guy, when he was at Denver, and they thought he was a good player, but he had so many problems that come down here, and Art Shell kind of became his personal teacher. And Gerald Perry now, one of the best offensive tackles there is in the game. Very strong, nasty attitude, good technique.
17 yards for a touchdown. They need to get inside the 2 for a first down. They draw to Williams. Fumble the ball, and San Diego says they have it. They do. Oh my! Harvey Williams coughs it up, and half the Charger team on the field to cheer a defense that was struggling and seemed to be exhausted. Darren Carrington fell on the loose ball, the safety man for San Diego.
Well, it's hard to see who makes the contact. The handoff is clean to Harvey Williams. I don't think anybody hit him. The thing just bounced out of his hands on the ground, recovered by San Diego. Dick, I said it looked like somebody just dropped the ball, but watch 90. Reggie White slapped the ball out of Harvey Williams' arms. Ball on the ground, recovered by San Diego.
They get the Natron Means, and he's out to the 17-18 yard line. Harvey Williams, his teammates trying to pick up his spirits, as Reggie White, who's in the game only because Reuben Davis was ejected in a fight in the first half. White makes the fumble, forced fumble, and stops a Raider drive that seemed to be certain to give them the lead. They've been inside the 20 3 times and have scored only once, the Raiders. Now on second down, Means cutting back and drives for what appears to be a first down out to the 27 yard line. Yes, indeed.
Well, this is exactly what the Chargers needed to do earlier now. Give it to Natron Means, soften up that line of scrimmage, and kind of take some of the steam out of the crowd and the Raiders.
For the Chargers, inside the 20, have forced 6 fumbles this year. That's why they're 3-0 coming in.
It's certainly intentional.
Under 8 minutes to play. San Diego still leads by 6. First down, over the top to the 31, a gain of 4. Second and 6 from the 31. Humphreys play action, looking for something big, and then throws it incomplete. Washington, touchdown. Worse than an interception for a touchdown if you're a San Diego fan. There's Stan Humphreys indicating that that was a serious hit on the knee. 31-yard touchdown. Lionel Washington off the juggle. Bobbled right into his arms.
Oh, we should see exactly what happens. Ball should never have been thrown. He's very late in making his decision here. McLaughlin hits him from behind, 91. Ball bounces off the hands
of Shannon Mitchell.
And Lionel Washington, his first interception of the year, goes for a score.
And from 20 to 3 the lead early in this second half. The Raiders have tied it at 23 before this extra point. Oh boy, does he ever get hit on that left knee.
Yeah, and very similar to what we just saw of Terry Kirby. Just the weight gets outside the knee, and the only thing that can give is the ligaments.
You got a man 310 pounds, McLaughlin, putting all the weight right on that knee, and that's the ugly part of football.
I'm not being doctor or diagnosing what happened here, but I mean, that looked a lot.
The emergency situation where you use that third-string quarterback. Do you find anything positive in the fact that he's able to put some weight?
No, none. He's a big, strong guy. No. There is a certain, when you hurt your knee like that, there's a certain numbness that sets in, and you can get up, and it doesn't feel too bad. And then when you get to the sideline and start walking around, and suddenly it feels very loose. if in fact it's a serious knee injury.
Isn't that incredible? Here's Humphries. Had gone 159 passes in a row without being intercepted, and now he's been intercepted 2 out of the last 2, and he's injured as well.
Yeah, not funny, but 2 bad choices by Stan Humphries resulted in both of those interceptions.
And now for the lead, Jeff Jaeger. Raiders 24, Chargers 23. To believe after what we've seen, but Humphries has his helmet on and he's acting like he wants to come back in. The kickoff, Raiders lead 24-23. Jaeger sends it toward Andre Coleman. Around the head he goes and down at the 21. Rob Fredrickson, the rookie from Michigan State, with a tackle.
This is hard to believe. Look, he's snapping up his chin strap. He just told Gilbert, get back on the bench. This is my football team. Let's see how he runs out here.
Oh, boy, I don't know why you risk this. You've got a whole season ahead, and one more hit might really make this serious. That's why we're up here, where we're safe from making any calls. But Humphries, obviously wounded, takes over with his team down by 1. Toss to Means. Boy, the Raiders come alive on defense. Everyone to the ball. Jerry Ball, Rob Fredrickson, Derek Hoskins.
They run the lead sweep. Deems May 88 tries to get a block on Fredrickson. Can't. So Ronnie Harmon in there also tries to make a block. You're right. That was one half of the Raider defense on the tackle. They should throw here. We'll see how Humphries' leg holds up.
Underneath it goes to Means, breaking some tackles. Oh, there was only a couple of men left, and they weren't in the near picture as Means was able to shred away from a couple of Raiders. And he's out across the 30 to the 31, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Actually, Humphries looks pretty good here. Setting up, it was his left leg. Well, he really didn't put weight on his left leg much, so he's getting away with it. But now...
And Means was looking for the big gainer. First down, Chargers at the 31. 5:35 left. A 1-point game. Means plowing to the 34. Fredrickson seeing a lot of duty. The rookie who was picked in the first round by the Raiders. Number 53 now with Beaker. So 2 very young backers in there for the Raiders.
Beaker thought he was going to get cut last year. He was just a special teamer. They get rid of Joe Kelly, and he's suddenly the starter. They don't mind putting young guys in key spots here. That's Greg battling Beaker.
Got a good right cross, they tell us. Second down and 6. The reverse to Sean Jefferson. Looking for a block. Down to the 38, and Humphries out there trying to block on the reverse.
He hit Nolan Harrison. Wait a minute, they're going to give him a 60s number if he keeps doing this.
This is a Purple Heart play.
The enemy to Jefferson or what? Harrison's a big guy. And he put weight on that left leg. It's got to make, look, that's on his left leg, the one he apparently hurt. That's going to make Humphries feel better. Maybe I'm all right, he says.
Third and a long 2. Underneath to Harmon. Good move by Ronnie Harmon, and out to the 45, a first down. That's 3 times in this game. Harmon has caught a pass on 3rd down to give the Chargers a new series of 4.
And Dick, you know what they're doing? They're leaving Harmon. Well, let's see if they do it here, but it seems to me that Harmon is making his presence felt. Well, he does go out the field, but he was in on several different plays there, so the Raiders can't pick up, are we going to run or pass? They got Means and Harmon. They have the option. Now it's Bieniemy. And I think Means in there together.
Well, the Chargers from the 20-yard line, a couple of first downs have moved to their own 45. And Bieniemy, good balance. But all of that for only about a 3-yard gain as Hoskins and Washington in the Raiders secondary with a tackle.
Yeah, that was Bieniemy and Shannon Mitchell, the H-back, that was in the backfield. Good patient drive here.
Now Harmon comes in. And one of the tight ends, Dwayne Young, goes out. So Means and Harmon in the backfield.
Now this puts a real problem there for the San Diego or the Raider defense. Do we defend the run or the pass here?
And timeout.
And
Humphrey. No, is it the Raiders that call a time?
Yeah.
Yes, and that means they have only one timeout left. In case you're wondering, San Diego with all 3 remaining. Time running out, a 1-point game. 2nd and 7 at the Charger 48. Humphrey's got protection, goes to the sideline, complete to Sean Jefferson. Now it's Tony Martin with a catch on the sidelines, and it's good enough for a first down at the Raider 40.
Lionel Washington was the man on side 48. He's watching the quarterback again at zone. Just the deep hitch run by Martin. And Humphrey still has the velocity on the ball, so every snap he takes, he probably feels a little more comfortable with that knee.
You can imagine that Stan Brock and others in that huddle saying, hey, let's not let him touch our quarterback now.
Keep him upright.
And a drive from the San Diego 20, and Natron Means only a yard as he's tripped up. Greg Biekert, his 11th tackle in the game. He leads all the Raider hitters. Carney, his longest ever, 54 yards. This year he's not been challenged for any deep ones. Not many kickers are. In fact, we haven't had any 50-yard field goals because of the new rules change. And it's ticking down. 2:03 to the 2-minute timeout. A 1-point game. Chargers challenging. For 55,000 at the Coliseum treated Bob Trumpy to a very entertaining game.
And so we've seen a lot in this football game. Good special teams play on both sides. We've seen some turnovers, big hits, good runs, nice receptions. All you want in the game, man. It's close.
And they're going to take away your doctor's degree again. There's Stan Humphries out there still wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, I guess the strength of these athletes nowadays surprises me so much that hits 20 years ago when I played, I mean, the guy would be on the surgical table tonight. But they can withstand so much punishment now because they work out 12 months a year. And that was a major hit by McLaughlin right on his knee. But he's got more guts than I thought he had.
Humphries takes him out of the huddle. 2nd down, a long 8 at the Raider 43. And another sack by the defense. Winston Moss, the linebacker, coming through untouched.
He comes right up the middle, too, Dick.
Timeout, San Diego.
Somebody missed him, and again, you don't want to point a finger at anybody, but they did the inside rush, and it looked like one guy, Kokozo, looked outside, and he didn't see the blitzer and Winston Moss free on Stan Humphries.
Humphries, who had only been sacked 2 times in the first 3 games, and that's the 2nd against him today. Now 3rd and 14 from the 45-yard line. Looking ahead to next weekend, not only here in the West on NBC. 10th play of this drive for San Diego. It's at the 45 of the Raiders. Out of John Carney's range. Humphries needs some yards. Harmon in motion. He's wide open for the catch. And whoa, is he ridden out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Stops the clock. 52 seconds left. 13-yard play. Not enough for the first down.
Oh, we've seen that before, though. The Chargers run a little legal pick play, run Ronnie Harmon out there in the flat.
Now this is interesting, Bob Trumpy. That brings up 4th down and about 1.5 yards at the 32. The spot would be around the 40. It would mean they'd ask Carney to kick a 50-yard field goal. Or do you go on 4th and 1.5 for a first down? Well, they're going to think about it. They're trying to read the clock. The Sun and the one and only scoreboard clock at the Coliseum is in such a position now off to the west that it's 1:51 left or 51 left. Kind of critical.
It's 1:51. We just had the 2-minute warning.
All right.
Well, this is a tough spot.
So they're going to call time, and the Chargers trying to decide. Well, this is why those coaches, no matter what he does here, is in a position to be second guessed. All the Monday morning quarterbacks will say, if it doesn't work, that isn't what I would have done.
Yeah, right.
Harmon with Sean Jefferson in motion. Over the middle. Complete to Harmon. There he is. That's where he is. How did he get there? Let's look at how Harmon found his way to be open again. Derek Hoskins made the tackle. 6 catches for Harmon, 4 first downs.
He goes outside then inside as you watch the play unfold. And look, there's just a crowd of people there. Nobody does anything illegal from San Diego's side of the ball, but it's just mass confusion. Raiders can't really figure out who is what. And Harmon comes up with a first down reception.
Ticking away, 1:17 left. First down at the 24 of the Raiders. Trailing 24-23. Which means dodging and darting and earning a yard. Natron has been well controlled by this Raider defense. That was Eddie Anderson coming up from safety to help out on the tackle. Means over 300 yards for the season at 289 coming in. But they've done a good job, and it's been key to the Raiders' performance today. 20 carries for number 20 means only 43 yards today.
They want to run this between the hash marks, but keep it right in the middle of the field for Carnell.
That's what the Raiders are looking for. Needs a big hole, and he slides down near the 15-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 16. Beaker tripped it up, but it's 3rd down and 1.
Greg Beaker at the tackle.
You see the offensive line again doing a great job. Shannon Mitchell leading, also Curtis Whitley doing a great job. This kid is a load, and now let the clock run down. Make sure that there are you save about 8 seconds here in case you got 2 snaps to do it.
And there it is. They call time. It'll be spotted about the 22-23-yard line. A 32 or 33-yard attempt for John Harney, and this is why these kickers are well paid. Whenever they come in, it's all pressure, the whole game on the line.
He's got the earplugs, but what a gutty performance by Stan Humphries.
Speaking of men who could perform for 50 years in this league, Joe Madrow passed away on Friday. He coached the Rams, he coached the Chargers, and he coached the Raiders, all 3 teams who have played home field here at the Coliseum. We sent along our best to the Joe Madrow family.
He was surrounded by Al Davis. He was surrounded by Chuck Noll, Jack Faulkner, with Sid Gilman as the head coach here for the L.A. Chargers when they first started in 1960.
All right, here it is. Carney with Gilbert holding from the 24. Just inside. It's officially a 33-yard attempt to win it for San Diego. They're going to ice him. The Raiders will use their final timeout.
And Andrew Glover, 87, the tight end, is in the ball game.
Watch him. See him there, 87, and about at the middle line. There, middle linebacker position. He's the man, Glover, who played college basketball and is a championship triple jumper. He's 6'6", but won the conference triple jump championship twice and was a basketball starter as well. And what they do is they like to give him a running start and hope that he can time it perfectly and go up and block the shot.
Yeah, he even looks at where the kicker is and then looks around at the goalpost and tries to center himself where it appears the kicker is lining up to make the kick.
One of those situations where owners, players, and fans all focus on only one man who does one thing, and that's kick a football. If he kicks it straight, the Chargers are 4-0 with 3 wins on the road. If he doesn't, the Raiders are back into the 2-2. He kicked it straight. And how about Ronnie Harmon's contribution as they skid one down, and now the time has run out. He'll take a return for a touchdown by Rocket Ismail. And look at him, he's getting free for a moment, still not down. What an effort, trying to lateral off. The game ends with an added flourish, and Gimpy and all, Stan Humphries takes the winning ball to the locker room. The Chargers atop the West, the only AFC team unbeaten after today, 4-0.